We are following a major staffing change inside the Trump administration. CBS News has learned that the chief strategist to the president, Steve Bannon, has been removed from the president's National Security Council. Let's get right to CBS News political director Steve Chaggaris, who joins us now from Washington. Hey, Steve.
Hey, how are you?
So what can you tell us?
Well, I'd caution using the words removed. We don't know the motivation for all this. All we know is that there was a new memorandum put into the Federal Register today that shows a different makeup of the National Security Council Principals Committee. As you may remember, when Mike Flynn was the National Security Advisor in January, they put together a list of members of this Principals Committee, which included Steve Bannon and didn't include some other high-level intelligence officials. Now that H.R. McMaster has replaced Mike Flynn as the National Security Advisor, they've rejiggered this Principals Committee. They've taken Bannon off there and restored those high-level officers, intelligence officers, to this Principals Committee. That's all we can tell you right now. We don't really know the motivation behind all of this. We just know that this was sort of slipped in a memorandum that was not made public. Really, it was just discovered by journalists, and so we'll get some more reporting on this throughout the day and try to figure out why this is happening the way it's happened.
And Steve, certainly the president's decision to put Bannon on the Security Council to begin with was met with criticism from both sides of the aisle. Talk about why that move was so controversial.
Well, it just was sort of unprecedented to have a guy in writing codified that a guy at his level, a political guy, being added to this permanent Principals Committee. It just got a lot of people who were in the intelligence world sort of raised a lot of eyebrows and said, why are you bringing your political guy onto the Principals Committee? They had to answer a lot of questions for that. Now they're sort of reverting back to the traditional lineup on the Principals Committee. Again, we don't know the reason why for this. We do know that there's been a change in the National Security Advisor, and this National Security Advisor, H.R. McMaster, is setting up the National Security Council in his mold. Hopefully throughout the day we'll find out why McMaster made this change.
Yeah, Steve, it's sort of interesting. I mean, and this is just sort of like reading the tea leaves here, because the president took so much heat for the decision to have Bannon sit in on those council meetings. The fact that it's reported that he probably never attended any of the meetings, it sort of makes you wonder. Now, in the report that we have here from Bloomberg, they say that a White House official says Bannon was placed on the committee in part, I'm quoting from the article here, to monitor Trump's first national security advisor, Michael Flynn. I mean, what could that be about?
Yeah, it's a good question. Again, I don't want to speculate on the reasons why any of this is happening. All we can really say is, I think the most curious part of this is that it was reset. What we're finding out today in terms of Bannon not being on that Principals Committee, it's being reset in a very, very quiet way, and we're discovering this mainly because these are things that are put into the Federal Register, and they are public record. But there was no fanfare at all from the White House on this. So we'll figure out throughout the day, I think, the reasons why this is all happening.
Yeah, very interesting move. Our Steve Chaggaris in Washington. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thanks.